The second format we created, which I think became even bigger hit, is dance format. And to be honest, when we were starting Cult, I had no idea. One day we were running gyms where people come and it'll be like a daytime disco, literally, where you turn on the music and so Bollywood, music is blaring and people are pulling out all their shadi dance moves. Then how this whole dance thing came to be. Now I'm a huge fan for it. I think it's doing great job. But can you just recap the story of how this whole dance fitness?
It's weird that I was against it.
You were against it.
I was. I wasn't against this. Against is probably not the right.
From crew, you dance. Long journey.
Yeah. So for me, Cult had a very different personality in my mind initially, and of course it went through a lot of change over so many years. But I couldn't visualize people coming in and dancing in a Cult center. So it took me some internalization to make peace with that fact.
Yeah, I want to tell one story about that. Not being able to visualize dance. So at some point, we do fundraising effort, etc. And sometimes investors come and we take them to Cult centers. And there was the whole team of investors, they're visiting, and we were taking them for field visits. So we went to one of the Cult centers in Indranagar, I think the 100 feet road. And as we were approaching the gym, there was this loud, club music kind of, vibe coming out of the, room. And then I opened the door and there were like 50 people and then just whipping out all these dance moves. And it was not, on one hand, it was, very bizarre. But we could see the investor, their eyes also lit up, seeing that, people were so into it. Yeah. And I'm not kidding, one of the business analysts, he started doing like this, right there while we were watching. So I think it has again, a certain, emotion, when people see other people dancing, without any worry, I think start affecting other people. But yeah, let's come back to it.
It's so much fun. I, in fact, attended a dance class just last week.
Okay.
With a few other folks from the Cult team. It was good fun. If I talk about it right now, I was wrong.
So how did it start? Like, you were not very enthusiastic about starting. I think Shitambri, who is a huge fitness influencer, big part of, what Cult has become to be. I think she played an instrumental role. So just, take us to a story. How did you create this whole format?
Yeah, so around that time is when I think you and Shitambri started talking about bringing her in, making Tribe a part of.
Right.
She came in with a very clear proposition that she built Zumba, at that time Zumba, and then which became dance fitness later. And of course, there was nobody like her. We met a few other people also in the dance and Zumba space, and there was nobody who could visualize the things in fitness the way CureFit did. So I think that partnership worked really well. It started with, she was a Zumba master trainer in India. So she used to train Zumba trainers and certify them.
Right.
And it started with launching Zumba. The first class was in JP Nagar.
Right.
And she took that class. At that time, she was still not a part of the CureFit team. She took that class. A few of other trainers who are working with us right now, also they came along with her. And that was the time we saw, I was there and Ankit was also there witnessing that class. And we saw so much energy on the Cult floor for the first time.
Yeah.
We were also, at that time, we were also seeing the trend that mostly because Cult came across as a very intimidating concept, because there is martial arts and there is all of those things. Not many women were enrolling.
Right.
That was the first day I saw so many women training on the Cult floor.
Yeah, nearly 100% women, right? In a lot of dance classes.
I mean, it's actually, it's not 100%. It's about 60-65%. So a lot of men are also doing dance fitness. But it's
majority.
That's right. I mean, it's that ratio is the other way around in HRX and strength. So that was one click that, we have to do something differently. We need to make fitness happen for, like you said, it is for fitness for everybody. It's not just for people who are very athletic, or men, women, and older adults, everybody, and we have to make it accessible. So that was first instance where I realized that yes, dance is going to play an important role. So that was the starting. We launched Zumba in a few centers. The format did really well. Now, what happened with Zoom, and then Shitambri became a part of the team, started leading the format, and of course, it grew with that ownership. what happened, what we realized was that Zumba was a lot of Latin music.
Right.
By design, Zumba will give you, because it's a global company, one regional song is allowed in the playlist.
Right.
So we could play one Bollywood song. So that was one thing that we thought that where we can probably do something.
India, one can't survive without Bollywood.
Exactly. And when we launched Dance Fitness, that it's predominantly Bollywood and people are loving it. That was one. Second, the choreography that Zumba had, it had a lot of hip-based movements.
Right.
What we realized was that, mobility for our people generally needs a lot of work. So hip and ankle and shoulder and everything.
Right.
It needs a lot of work. So we can't really push them to very hip-related movement in a dance class. And if we do that, they'll enjoy it, but not to the topmost potential.
Right.
So that's where we saw an opportunity of creating something of our own.
Yeah.
And that was the initiation of the idea of dance.
Right.
Now, it was a very bold move at that time because we were already Zumba was already valued.
Right.
We had a pipeline of trainers and everything was there. So it was a bold move for us, and we still started Dance Fitness because we very strongly believed in this site. And then Bollywood became a part of the playlist, like majority of it's predominantly Bollywood. Now, in fact, we have sessions where it is even more regional. We have Tamil songs, we have Telugu songs, we have Kannada songs.
Right.
And people are in fact in those regions loving it. So we did that. We also made the choreography much simpler. And, I mean, I'm saying we, it's Shwetambari and team who did that because those are the experts. I can't really dance. So choreography made simpler, music made more relatable.
Right.
And that just blew up. It became the single most biggest format in Cult.
Yeah.
And people are just in love with the format, the kind of community, the kind of vibe.
Absolutely.
All of those things are insane.
Yeah, I think now it's the largest format we have. Every day, I think 30 to 40,000 people come and dance in cult centers during daytime. I mean, how cool is that?
In fact, so it's while I was talking about like the simplicity in choreography for Dance Fitness, what I also realized was that simplicity worked really well for us. And I think you were talking about something like this the other day, that it's for anything, like excellence in general, just fitness. Yes, it's not about doing complex things. It's about doing simple things, but doing it consistently, forever. And simplicity for us played a really important part, which the example that I just gave about choreography in dance fitness. In fact, our HRX workout programming is also very simple. Simple for people to execute themselves. Yeah. Versus a movement like a snatch. Yeah. Which is not just one movement. It requires a deadlift. It requires a high pull, a shrug, and you have to squat under the bar. Right. It's difficult for people to first squat. They have to first learn how to squat. Right. On both legs. So HRX workout programming is so simple that it will not challenge your motor control too much in the first session. You come for the first class, you will get a great workout. Right. And you will feel that you've done something meaningful with those 50 minutes. Right. And I think that was the reason why both HRX and dance worked quite well.